Hi everybody, my name is Jo Joshi. I'm the founder of dmcfinder.net. We represent and list DMCs from across the globe, connecting you to event planners from around the world as well on one platform. We are hosting regular webinars to update you on the destinations while the world's still slowly opening up. Today we've got the lovely Lisa and Nick from APN North from UK DMC, who will be giving a whistle-stop tour of the UK. I'll hand you over to her now. Any questions, please put them in the chat box and we'll get back to you guys at the end of the update. All over to you, Lisa.
Thank you very much, Jo. Yeah, thanks so much for this opportunity, and thank you to everybody for tuning in. Like Jo said, this is a whistle-stop tour of the services that we can offer to you and your clients and your groups in the UK for meetings, events, conferences, incentives, fully inclusive tours, basically anything. And I do apologise, I've got a frog in my throat. My 5-year-old's giving me a cold, so I apologise in advance. I will need to keep drinking water. So basically it's all pictures, because I think picture speaks 1,000 words, and rather than me harp on and on and on to show you a picture of the things that we can offer you and the services we can offer you and the places we can offer you is going to be better. So APN is Nick and myself. Nick is also on this call. Nick set up the company 15 years ago and I jumped on board over 11 years ago. So, you know, we were really we are a small team in that there is the 2 of us in the office. However, we don't see it like that. We are a much bigger team in that we have all of our suppliers that we rely on, all of our venues, our transport providers. We can't do this alone. So, you know, we are a small part of a much bigger team. I think the one thing to say as well before going into the services is that the UK is ready. We are now ready as of Monday the 17th. 2 days ago, I think the statistic was over 1 million people, just over 1 million people went back to work in hospitality in the UK, which is fabulous. So we are ready. The hotels are open, the venues are open, the restaurants are open. We are ready for when people can come into the UK. And for UK clients, we are ready for your meetings and events needs. So this is the Good to Go standard, and this is it gives a ring of confidence to everybody coming into the UK to know that all of our suppliers that we deal with in the UK adhere to this standard, and it's basically a COVID-19 safety standard. So we will only ever place your clients, your groups in hotels, in venues, at activities, in coaches that are adhering to this standard. And as part of our responsibility for APN, we will also be providing an APN COVID-19 care pack to each and every delegate, which will contain a mini hand sanitizer, face masks and wipes for the duration of your stay in the UK, which, you know, is very important because, you know, a lot of venues, obviously, you can't get in without using the face mask. So that's something that your delegates and your group don't have to think about. We will take care of that. So, as I'm sure most of you know, as everybody knows, the United Kingdom is made up of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, and APN cover the whole of these areas. We offer services right throughout the UK. So firstly, I'm going to touch on accommodation. We are so blessed in the UK with many, many different types of accommodation. We've got hotels, you know, we've got boutique hotels, we've got spa hotels, resort hotels, hotels of any kind of different size. We have castles. There's many, many castles in the UK, mainly in Scotland and Wales, that do offer accommodation for small groups. So if you've got a VIP group coming to the UK, you know, there's nothing more VIP than staying in the castle. So the top picture there on the left is the Fingal. This is a boat that is moored about 10 minutes outside of Edinburgh. It is a luxury floating hotel. It is absolutely exquisite. It's fabulous. It's got 14 suites on board, and everything is just sheer luxury. It's 10 minutes outside Edinburgh. So again, for your VIP groups, this would be an option, and you're literally a stone's throw from, you know, the capital city of Scotland for the rest of your stay, for the tours, for your meetings, for your events. So onto activities. There's no end to the activities that we can offer, really. So I'm just going to touch on a few in the next few slides. When I say there's no end, there is always something new to be doing within the UK, and Nick and I are learning every day. There's always something new popping up. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly talk through some of our main activities that our groups do. And I think it's worth saying as well that we can do like a mix and match. It's not that your group would just do one activity. Depending on what the activity is, you can, you could do a city tour in the morning, you could do a distillery visit in the afternoon, or if you've got a meeting in the morning, you could then go out and do a round of golf in the afternoon. We can mix and match, and quite often you can get, 2, 3, 4, depending on the time, activities in one day. So just to touch on golf, Scotland is the home of golf, so we do many golf trips to Scotland. Corporate incentives to golf trips. Scotland has 550 golf courses alone, just in Scotland, so there is no end of golf courses for your group if that is what they want to do. Particularly, it's the home of golf, St Andrews. The most famous golf course in the world is the Old Course. We can get your groups a round of golf on that course. We can do city tours, every UK city and beyond. We can do tours, whether I've put the London sightseeing bus there, but we can do walking tours, bus tours, coach tours. In every destination across the UK, we have multilingual guides. So, we have guides that are so knowledgeable about each and every destination. So all of your tours will be with a guide from that destination. The Highland Games, again, predominantly up in Scotland. It's a fabulous team building activity. It's so much fun. We do this a lot, and we actually do it. There's one particular one that we do in Edinburgh, which is actually in the grounds of the castle, Winton Castle. So you kind of have tea or a barbecue or something within the grounds of the castle, followed by Highland Games, and it's always made that little bit competitive, so it's always that little bit more fun. And then we've got various boat trips. The picture there on the bottom right is a rig boat powering down the Thames, which is a high energy boat trip, but we also have got the locks and the lake cruises, so for a more kind of chilled out boat trip. And we can also offer water sports. Okay, some more activities. Distillery tours. Again, whiskey is massive in Scotland and Ireland, especially Scotland. Scotland has 130 whiskey distilleries alone. Many of these distilleries offer various tours, and they are fabulous tours because the Scots are so passionate about whiskey. It's their products. So they make the tours so inclusive. You can do chocolate pairing tours, whiskey dinners with whiskey pairing courses. And there's not many people that come to Scotland and do not go home without a bottle of whiskey in their suitcase. Whether you love it or hate it, you will take one home with you, because somebody that you always know somebody that will love whiskey. We also do many train tours throughout the UK. Basically, getting from A to B on the train in the UK is very easy. And we have some luxury train tours as well. The one on the right-hand side there at the top is it's the Fort William to Mallaig trip in Scotland, and some of you might recognise that viaduct. It's the Glenfinnan viaduct, and it was made famous by the Harry Potter movie, it was in The Prisoner of Azkaban. So a lot of our groups want to do that train journey to say, oh, we've been on the Harry, it's also known as the Harry Potter Viaduct. I think more people know it as the Harry Potter Viaduct than we do the Glenfinnan Viaduct. But sometimes the train is the best way to travel in the UK, because sometimes the best scenery can only be seen by train. It can't actually be seen by road. So that's a really good way to travel. Yeah, we're really, really lucky with obviously our monarchy and the royal residences. We've got many, many beautiful castles and palaces all over the country, which, you know, many of which we can hire for exclusive use. We can use for your meetings, your events, your dinners, your awards dinners. There's no end really. They have just some beautiful, beautiful venues. Just the last slide on activities, like I said, just because there is so many. If you know, we've organised fishing trips before, we've organised cycling trips. You can cycle in the city, you can cycle off-road, the high energy, the low energy. We've done horse riding, rock climbing, 4x4, segways, anything that your group wants to do. And again, the low energy, we've done, we can organise yoga classes, spas within hotels, treatments. Quite often when you've got a large group, if you've got 350 people attending a conference and then the final day is activities, you're not going to get 350 people that want to do the same activity. So we're used to, you know, dividing groups up. Some people want to go off and climb mountains. Some people, probably me, would want to lie in the spa and have a treatment or something. So, you know, there is always something for everybody, no matter what size your group is. So, excuse me. So, I'm just going to touch on some of our more popular destinations now. Obviously, London, the capital city. We are so lucky again, you know, we've got the British monarchy. In London alone, we have 10 royal palaces, many of which are still lived in by the royal family right now. I mean, Buckingham Palace there on the bottom left-hand slide picture is home, the official home to Her Majesty the Queen. And we're so lucky that for 3 months of the year, the Queen goes on holiday to her castle in Scotland, Balmoral Castle. So for 3 months of the year, Buckingham Palace is open up to visitors, and we can take groups in to visit the staterooms and to visit, I think these are probably about 20 rooms that are opened up, and it's just a fabulous, fabulous visit. And you watch the changing of the guards. Obviously, London is well known for its theatre shows. We've got some theatre shows that have been running since the 1950s. You know, Cats, the Phantom of the Opera, still popular now, still booked out every night. Well, pre-COVID, booked out every night. So we can get, you know, group theatre shows. And then obviously, London was home to the 2012 Olympics, which was, I don't know if it's officially, but it was deemed definitely one of the most successful Olympics, which we are really, really proud of. And the good thing, the really good thing about the Olympics is every single venue that was used for the Olympics has been reused. It's just, you know, the stadium is now a football stadium, home to one of the Premier League clubs. Every venue has been reused for something. I'm going to go on to Edinburgh now, being Scotland's capital city. Again, really, really rich in history and the monarchy. At the top end of the Royal Mile, you have the castle there on the hill, and at the bottom end, you have the Palace of Holyrood, which is beautiful, and both really, really good great visitor attractions. You know, it's home to the military tattoo there on the top right. The military tattoo is an absolutely fabulous, fabulous event to see. It's basically a performance by the British Armed Forces and international military bands, and they just put on this amazing, amazing show with lights, and the castle lights up. and there's dancing, and it's just absolutely fabulous. And we can get, you know, we've taken groups to this. Yeah, we have got the International Festival in Edinburgh, which during the summer, Edinburgh just comes alive. The International Festival, you know, there's comedians, there's artists, there's singers. The Edinburgh literally just comes alive, and there's something on around every corner. It's very, very, very busy. So, and then the last place not the last place, sorry, I'm going to touch on is Manchester. Now, I've had to put the stadium. Anybody that knows Manchester knows that in Manchester you are either a red or a blue, because it's home to two of the biggest football clubs in the world, Manchester United and Manchester City. So we do organise corporate football tickets, group football tickets, group corporate hospitality at the stadiums. And we can do that at stadiums all across the UK, but the big ones for us are, you know, the Manchester stadiums. And again, Manchester is just absolutely steeped in history, and it has beautiful, beautiful buildings to view. The slide on the top right is John Ryland's library, and that's a library. It's right in the city centre. It's the most beautiful, beautiful venue. And I mean, Manchester has 3 universities, so our students are so lucky that they can go there on a daily basis and do their studies. But there's also tours that we can take our groups on tours around these venues. Manchester, I would say, is probably one of the most vibrant upcoming cities in the UK. It's there's a new bar, a new restaurant, a new hotel, a new offering of some sort practically weekly in Manchester. It really is a vibrant city. And then there's the Lake District. The Lake District is 2 hours from Manchester, 2 hours from Liverpool, 2 hours from Newcastle. So it's doable in a day, regardless of where you are. And it's just beautiful. Just, you can see there by the photos, you know, if you don't want to be in the city, this, you know, the Lake Districts and places like this are just amazing to be. There is hotels, we can take groups, we can do conferences, events. It's a place of extreme natural beauty. There's mountains, lakes, and it's actually famous to William Wordsworth, Beatrix Potter and John Ruskin, who are famous authors and poets who kind of took themselves there because it's so beautiful to do their writing. So like I say, it's within 2 hours of 3 cities. I'm just going to touch on our transport now. So from your group arriving into the UK, we will deal with all your transport needs, whether that be coaches, luxury travels, if you want to do self-hire, trains, you know, if you want to get on a bike, we can organise all of your transport needs. Oh, sorry. And then dinners, again, I've just put some pictures of various different dinners that we can and have done. We can do dinners for any size, you know, whatever your requirements, an awards dinner, a gala dinner, no matter how many people, there is a venue. We will know a venue, we will be able to source a venue that we can use for your event. We can do intimate dinners, we can do outdoor barbecues, you know, there's no end to the food, the food and the dinners offering, which takes us nicely onto food. You know, I know when I go to a different country, I like to try the food that they eat in that country, their traditional food. So I think a lot of people, when they come into the UK, do really, really want to try our traditional food. So the big one there, top left-hand corner, is afternoon tea. Afternoon tea is, you know, mini sandwiches, scones with cream and jam, and little cakes. And it's massive, massive now in the UK. You know, we've done groups on a London double-decker bus, touring around London, seeing the sights while eating afternoon tea. A pod on the London Eye, we can do afternoon tea, hotels. It's a really, really popular, very, very British thing to do, and it's delicious, and it's actually best enjoyed with a glass of champagne. And then I'll just touch briefly on the haggis, the bottom left. And now I'm not going to actually tell you what haggis is. For those that do not know, I'll let Mr. and Mrs. Google tell you what haggis is. But basically, haggis is the traditional dish of Scotland, and again, like the whiskey, they're very, very passionate about it. So we've done a lot of Scottish gala dinners where you'll have your kilted man, and he'll be doing the address to the haggis, which is a poem written by Robert Burns, who is the national poet of Scotland. And then they'll cut into the haggis, and everybody will have it, and it's just a fabulous, fabulous start to a dinner. And then obviously you've got your fish and chips and your traditional Yorkshire pudding. And then on to drink, you know, Scotland and Ireland, you've got the whiskey there at the top. And then tea, there's a teapot there. Us Brits love our tea. Allegedly, we drink 360 billion cups of tea every day. And there is many, many varieties on offer. So, for example, if you go for afternoon tea at, say, the Balmoral Hotel in Scotland or one of the top hotels in London, for example, the Balmoral, there are 88 different types and varieties of tea that you could choose with your afternoon tea, which is amazing. But we do love tea. And then a big thing in the UK is local ales. So local ales are ales that are brewed with passion. So when you go to a town or a city in the UK, it's good to try their local ales. They're very, very passionate about it. It's like a beer. It's like a beer lager. And then obviously we have the traditional gin and tonic. Just briefly touch on meetings and conferences. And I say briefly, not because basically because there is no end to the offering that we can offer. Meetings, events, conferences, dinners, gala dinners, from any size. If you need a meeting for a room for one person's hot desk, to a gala dinner for 1,000 people, to a meeting for 500 people, we have a venue, we will have a place that we can accommodate that. We've got suppliers that will provide all your audio, visual, your staging, your lighting, your AV, venue dressing, absolutely anything. The last large event we did before lockdown was a James Bond themed event. And, you know, we had casino tables, we even had Aston Martins brought in, we had martini cocktails, pre-dinner cocktails. So, you know, whether we can theme your event, whether it be your meeting, your dinner, anything. So there's no end to the services we can provide for that. And then just briefly, we are a high-end agency in that we aim to not provide anything less than 4-star, and that's because we know that providing 4-star plus, we are confident that our suppliers and that our venues and our hotels are going to meet the requirements of your groups and your clients. But there is no end to how high we can go. You know, we can do real luxury. If you've got a group that want the real luxury, we can do personal shoppers, we can do private helicopters, we can do any kind of vehicle, we can do, you know, you can hire a Ferrari for the day. There is absolutely nothing that we can't do. So yeah, just ask, which leads me onto our contact slide. So there's the contact details for myself and Nick. I hope you've enjoyed the whistle-stop tour of the UK, and if there is any questions, then please do get in touch. Please do feel free to ask.
Thank you, Lisa. You really did go through that in a jiffy, didn't you? Speeded through it. But I have got a few questions for you from the clients. 2 seconds. Got from Mariana saying, do we need to be vaccinated to get to the UK? Is the green passport required if I want to travel there now?
At the moment, yes, it is. Yeah, which is why I kind of said we are ready for when people can travel. You know, we're ready and open, and we're just waiting to get put on that green list. But at the moment, yes, you'd need to self-isolate when you come into the country. Let me just double, Nick, is that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
That's correct,
and
yeah.
it the thing is,
it changes daily.
It changes. Yes, every 2 weeks or so they update the list. So, Mariana, the answer is we'll just keep asking us, or we'll keep telling you what the story is.
Yeah.
Claire said she loves Fingal. We're supposed to have an event there pre-COVID. Determined to get back there. It's beautiful. Quick one, another from Mariana. A question: is there any more the spot to make it awful? Blah blah. Is there any more fun adventure FD experiences where you can do kayak, rappel, canopy, or rent your own 4x4s?
Yeah, there's many places. I'm actually working on a proposal for a client for next year. There's many places in all over the country, really. Yeah.
Okay, is that the same for like rock climbing?
If you know, Marianne, if you want to get in touch and let me know exactly what you're thinking, then we can go into more detail. That's absolutely fine.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Mariana. You're a little bit low.
Yeah, I can see you now as well.
Go on, fire away.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. I was muted. Okay, so let me introduce. I'm mainly doing coming in Argentina. I have a DMC company. However, I do have passengers outgoing by leisure, families, retired people, so citizens. So that's why I'm mainly asking. Actually, I have a couple of clients that they stopped about traveling. They were planning to come back to the UK, but they couldn't because of the pandemic. So that was that is the main reason of why I am mainly asking about conditions. I don't know if you know, but Argentina is not the best country to get vaccinated. It takes a long time, a lot of money. We are not USA, even though we are from America. So here it's hard to get the vaccination.
Yeah.
It's not simple. Plus, the mainly vaccination that we get is from Russia. It's the Sputnik, which I believe is not on the list.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing then now, Mariana? Then, so what is the kind of plan now for the next couple of months for you guys? Vaccination.
No, we have a national plan. It's for free.
Right. Okay.
We got a lot from China, from different countries, even from the UK. However, for people around my age without any condition, I'm gonna be
later on in the year.
Reason, no?
Right.
That we were supposed to be vaccinated. However, I'm asking about passengers. Yeah. They are even asking if they can enter to Europe and the UK using an European passport, and I say no, because they will take from where are you coming. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I'm not kidding. I have passengers next month traveling to Europe. That is why I'm really concerned.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry to be so honest about.
No, it's good. It's good that we know.
At the moment, Mariana, they're operating a traffic light system. So there's green countries, amber countries, and red countries. Unfortunately, at the moment, Argentina's are in the red zone, but they are updating these things the whole time. So. I don't think the next thing will happen probably that Argentina will move into amber, and then they'll see how, because it's to do with quarantine when you arrive in the UK. At the moment, you could come to the UK if you're allowed out of Argentina, but then you'd have to go into a hotel for 10 days, a government approved hotel. That's for red zone. For amber, you have to self-isolate in the hotel of your choice or the house of your choice when you come to the UK. And it's but I really do think that it will change quite rapidly, really, given in the coming months. I mean, it might not, I'm not saying it's going to be 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but it is moving all in the right direction. And the British government have generally speaking, been very clear. This traffic light system seems to me to be, we might not like it, but it is what it is, and it's quite clear for people to understand. But the actual requirement to have it's more to do with what you do when you get here, rather than have you had a jab or not.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. Nick, thank you very much. However, we are asked to put it clear, not only from Argentina, this is information for you, because if you do incoming, I think I'm very useful to provide this info. But we are all asked from South America with a negative PCR to get inside, to get outside. Each time you travel, you need to get the negative PCR test.
Still. Yeah.
But I think it's not enough to be in the UK right now, which I wish.
I think it's
we wish.
I love the UK.
Yeah, like I say, we're all ready. We're all ready now. Everyone's gone back to work. Everything's
exactly.
Yeah, because for example, at the moment,
obviously our vaccine program has been really successful. So, which has helped us to open back up. This is the only reason we have opened back up. But yeah, it's obviously very cautious from the rest for the rest of the world.
It
will happen.
It will.
I totally agree with the decision of I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking.
We all want to travel. We all want to.
Dynamic.
We're all itching to get out of the UK, Mariana. Yeah. We can't wait.
We are.
We want to get to the beach.
We used to have a freedom lifetime.
Exactly.
We didn't realize. It's
absolutely.
So, Mariana, you asked about Buckingham Palace. The answer is the minimum is 15, and at the moment the maximum is 30 for groups at the moment.
That's for Claire, Nick.
Fine, I'm writing it down.
So Mary, and then also Claire, you asked about the train from Manchester to the Lake District.
Yes.
So I'm taking over your job.
No, go for it, Nick. Fire away.
The answer is yes, you can directly. You go to a station called Oxenholme, which is called Oxenholme for the Lake District, and that will take you into the northern part of the Lake District. So then you're, for example, 10 minutes by road to Kendal, or if you wanted to go to Keswick, you're up just under an hour.
Brilliant. I'm just thinking it's a nice twin for a small incentive, isn't it, UK?
It is beautiful. There's many venues, properties right on the lakeside, which it's lovely. So that's why I kind of highlighted it. 2 hours from 3 cities, because you can do the city vibe, and then you can go to
your clubbing in your 5-star hotels, and then do a bit of off-roading or kayaking on the lakes or something like that.
There are still some gorgeous 5-star hotels in the Lake District, some real beautiful properties.
Okay.
Claire, you were asking about the ideal group size for Scotland as well.
Oh, there is no ideal really. There is some massive hotels up there, some really big hotels. I would say Edinburgh can cater for any size. Edinburgh and Glasgow, the cities can cater for any size. As you go higher up into the Highlands, really, the hotels, there's not as many hotels, and the hotels aren't as large in capacity. But for Edinburgh, for Glasgow, even in Inverness, we do big groups. We do big groups. The last event that I was talking about before we went into lockdown, I think it was 350 we did. At a hotel. It was north of Edinburgh, actually, just outside of Edinburgh, about an hour up. But yeah, I think a lot of people see Scotland on the map as being about that big, but there's some fabulous hotels up there.
It's finding team building, thinking about 100 people, that they can do something that's not an iPad challenge, because when I find a lot of cities and stuff, if I get offered one more iPad challenge,
the one that I've been working on today, I'm actually working on for a group for next year. There's a venue that they're looking at central England, and then they're looking at one in Scotland, and it's got its own activity centre. It's the one where we did last year, the horse riding, the spa treatments, the 4x4. It's 25 minutes out of Stirling. Stirling's got the castle and the Wallace Monument. It's so we did, I think about 20 people went off on a tour of Stirling with a guide. There's 10 minutes down the road, there's one of the best whiskey distilleries in Scotland, the Glenturret distillery. Probably about 50 people went off and did the distillery tour. There is absolutely no end of
Wow.
activities.
Oh, that's good to
in
know.
certain places in Scotland. And like I say, that is an hour out of Edinburgh. So if you don't want to be in the city, you know, you don't have to be.
Brilliant. No, that's good to know, because I think some of my clients that would normally do Europe will probably stay in the UK for just the next year or two to play it safe.
Well, I'll let you into a secret. Well, I should have been jetting off to Greece on my family holiday next week, and I'm going to Scotland instead, because Scotland is my favourite place. I love it. We love the whole of the UK. Nick and I are really passionate about the whole of the UK. But I think in my heart, Scotland is in my heart. It's fabulous. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
I think if you're in England, you also feel like you're going away if you get on a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going over a border.
Yeah.
Going to a different
Psychologically, I agree.
Yeah.
I went to Scotland for my birthday the year before last and loved it.
Where did you go?
Edinburgh. Just two nights it was, or maybe 3. But yeah, it's lovely. I'd like to go back as well.
Wonderful. Edinburgh. To the right, you can see the castle. I love how they're pronounced, and they're very hot, by the way. I like the package you can find in Edinburgh.
We went to a great cat cafe there as well. Yeah. And the castle. We did go to the castle.
What an amazing destination.
It is really cool, Edinburgh.
Do you operate also FIT travelers, individuals, families, small groups?
Yes, we can do. We can. In fact, no, not we can do. Yes, we will do. Yeah, of course.
Brilliant.
As long as they want that high-end helicopter, when we pick them up,
the Bentley and the limo.
we'll do the smaller groups.
No, what I mean, maybe passengers that they don't want to follow a whole group. They want to rent. I don't know, special things to be tailor-made. That was I'm asking.
Yeah. Everything that we do is tailor-made. Really, everything's bespoke. We don't have a catalogue, we don't have, page 22 of our brochure, because every single client request, as much as we can offer the same hotels, we can offer the same activities, but every client request is slightly different. So everything that we do is bespoke.
Did you, fee-wise, do you operate like on a management fee or obviously commissions, or how does that, for costing purposes, if we use you, how do we?
Well, again, everyone's different. Some places, some venues don't offer commission. I mean, hotels do, but other venues don't offer commission. So again, it really, really depends, and it depends on the budget of the group. But hotels and things like that, then yeah, we take the commission from the hotel. But other services, depending on what they are, meet and greets, transport, things like that, then we obviously put our mark up on that.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Have to, don't we?
Yeah.
To survive. Joys of the business, right? Yeah.
And it's funny because some hotels will offer 8%, some offer 15%. It makes a massive difference, and depending on the size of the group and what else they are doing, depends on whether you make the money on it or not.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I miss so much the groups. I'm gonna cry.
It'll come back up next year. It'll boom. It will get busy
25
again.
years working in tourism. This was bizarre.
I know.
I can never imagine this situation, right?
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Instead of talking through a trade show, we are talking virtually. I like it, but oh god,
yeah,
face to face. I miss hug.
Yeah.
Mate. Drink Malbec, I don't know.
it will go back, but to be fair, virtual has been a lifesaver. I think it's been amazing, kind of opportunities given us all, hasn't it, to keep connected over this time, because it will go back to normal. We will go back to being crazy again. I'm already finding while I'm getting clients on the calls, that they're already out and they're meeting clients, they're going out for meetings, and it's brilliant because you can see the buzz back in the air for events and for meetings and clients. So it's really positive, but it's helped us through that lull period. I think it's been amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can I just say, sorry, Claire, just going back to your interest in Edinburgh, in Scotland. The one thing I will say about Scotland, because we've got some training groups booked already for next year, and this, people can't believe that this is the case, but availability already is becoming limited for next year.
Wow.
Because we know, but that, to be honest, is Scotland all over, especially Edinburgh, and especially summertime in Edinburgh. You have to be looking at least 18 months in advance for a larger group, because the demand is just so high. But yeah, some of these training groups that we're doing, some of the Highland hotels, we're already struggling for availability for 2022, which is fabulous, because we know that next year is going to go crazy. We've always said, Nick and I, they need some more hotels in Scotland. They need more hotels.
You find the rates gone up as well, Lisa, then kind of reflect that too?
No, I don't think they haven't done really. I don't think that they can. I know everybody's been in lockdown and everybody's, struggled financially, but it's not fair to then put the rates up because of that. The rates are
that's good to hear.
But then on the same thing, we have had some groups, some clients asking for, special terms and conditions. They don't want to pay until like 2 weeks before arrival. And we also don't think that's very fair, because they're not out for our suppliers, for our hotels. We can't expect them to
hold the space
and to change their terms and conditions, because obviously this has affected us all, whether you're a supplier or a customer.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think we all have to be aware of that. And we don't like saying to clients, no, we can't do a pay on arrival, basically.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, and that can't work.
No.
And it's not fair to ask our suppliers to work like that.
I think everyone's still very nervous, aren't they? I think until we kind of get a bit more confident in events and getting out there and getting out and about again, I think clients are still kind of very unsure about making payment. I think that's across the board. And we're finding a lot of clients were looking and planning events even for like overseas, but don't want to commit yet because they're like, we don't know what's going to happen next. We don't want to go through what we had last year. We had to make all the changes and the postponements. It took a long time to get it all sorted. So I would rather start planning, but not contract anything till we have to. We know we can, and it's safe to do so.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we were looking at some groups cancelled from last year that were, for September and October this year, that we've just heard that, 2 of them have said, no, we're not going to come this year. Whether we don't know by then whether they will be allowed to come anyway. It's a Swiss group and a Scandinavian group. And they just said the confidence just isn't there at the moment.
Yeah.
However, they will be back. We have no doubt they will come back in 2022.
Yeah.
When the confidence is there and people
I agree.
Hopefully isolate and things.
Absolutely, fingers crossed. I was asking about price because I had a couple of clients today that are overseas and saying like for Italy and Spain going forward for next year, March onwards, the prices have doubled and the availability is lower, but the prices have doubled because it's kind of make up for this year, but also the demand's there. So people are booking, they are looking ahead, so they're able to charge that a little bit more. I think London's doing the same though, actually, as well. The rates have gone slightly higher.
I would imagine in London, yes.
But it's just, but you're right. We have to start planning forward because next year we'll go mad. So we need to kind of start looking ahead and kind of getting the diary right.
I think that's the main thing is exactly what you just said, Joe, and then the concern about dates and when you have to pay and all that kind of stuff. That stuff we'll fight your corner, as it were, at the contract stage, and because it's going to be, at the end of the day, a good deal is a good deal for all parties concerned. But people, if they hold off too long, somebody else will jump in and take that space.
Absolutely. And that's fair enough as well, isn't it? Because it's been a tough year for everyone, so you've got to kind of cover yourselves at all times as well. Bless them. Any more questions? Anybody? Well, we've got the team online. Vinay, Sarah, Amy, Hannah. Hannah, where are you from?
I'm from Gardner, based in kind of Surrey, Berkshire way at the moment. Yeah.
Bless you. How's it going? How are you guys busy?
It's getting there. It's different.
Is
different
it?
for sure. Yeah, we've done some virtual events and now kind of starting to plan for some of the events.
Really?
But it's just different, and there's just, like you say, so much uncertainty as to whether or not
it's going to happen.
They will happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, starting to do a lot of things, but it's just very different.
No, I can imagine, because I know Gartner used to do quite a lot of big events overseas, like pre-COVID. Is that all kind of staying in the UK this year, or kind of?
No, there is still kind of, I think, plans for overseas as well, but again, it very much depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I think I think September, October time, till we get a bit more confident with traveling and the vaccinations are all rolled out, it's still going to be up in the air like it is now. So hopefully by December time we'll have a bit more normality with predicting, and then Jan 22 and 23 is going to go mental. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. We're all ready to go now, aren't we? But we're aiming to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we will get there. I think we've done good to get this far. We've only got 6 months more to go, so it's kind of like literally just riding the curve now, isn't it? Riding the wave and getting out the other end. We can do it.
Yeah, we have done really well. I mean, it is so sad what we're finding, that now that we're getting requests in and we're contacting hotels and venues and restaurants, it's just apparent how many actual COVID job casualties there are. You know, what Nick and I, over the last 15 years, the biggest thing we built up is our relationship with our suppliers, which is what I said at the very beginning of my presentation, is that it's not just Nick and I, it's our suppliers, it's those sales managers in the hotels, it's those coach drivers that we know turn up suited and booted and will look after our clients. And I can't even tell you how many people of our close-knit kind of suppliers just aren't there anymore.
Wow.
So
it's sad. It's really sad, isn't it?
Yeah, Nick and I are actually planning a UK tour. While it's still relatively quiet, Nick and I we're going up to Edinburgh next month, we're going into Manchester.
Wow, okay.
We need to, it's not that necessarily we need to see the venues because we know the venues, but we need to go and meet with those people in those venues to start building on our relationships, because that's where you get the good deals, the best deals for your clients, you know. The amount of people you can, we used to be able to phone up and say, oh, we've got this group of 50, can you just maybe give them a glass of wine on arrival? Just something, you know, that's perceived massively but costs very little. We don't have them anymore. We will have them, because Nick and I are making sure that we're going to get out there now that we can. But yeah, those relationships are just not there, and it's such a shame.
It is. It's sad. We spent a long time building them up as well over the years, and I feel like over the last year, just for it all to go. But at the same time, it's quite an opportunity, really. I think, because we can kind of change the way the industry works, because lots of new people coming in. So it's really kind of quite old hat. So it's a great opportunity for us to go in and go, actually, we really need to be more smart, more dynamic, because it's a really key industry is hospitality and tourism in the UK, and sometimes it gets left behind, doesn't it, a little bit, as it's going to happen, it'll be fine, but we really need to get everything sorted on our end, I think, for hospitality and tourism, get it right for the clients, for us. I mean, it works more slicker, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Any more questions, guys? Anybody?
Please feel free.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a whistle-stop tour. Sorry, I plan events. I'm not great at presentations, so I do apologise.
Oh, no, you were really good. Thank you.
It didn't disappoint, as it said on the email.
No, it was really good. Thank you. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys, for joining us today. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Mariana from Argentina. Hannah, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.